I want to circle back into the crypto conversation now, because we spoke about meme coins earlier. Obviously, that's a vertical that you're super bullish on.
So I invest in three things. One, I invest in trends. Two, I invest in narratives. And three, I invest in teams. That's it. So what's the narrative of the bull run? I want to invest into that narrative. What's the trend? Trends is micro pumps or micro cycles inside of the narrative. So for example, biggest bull run cycle in history because institutions are in. Okay, that's the narrative. What's the trend inside of that? We had an AI trend when NVIDIA rolled around that lasted maybe 4 months. Is it going to come back? I don't know, but I rode that trend. Meme coins, okay. Is it a longer trend? Is it potentially a narrative? I don't know, but it's there, it exists. So making money off of momentum. So narratives, trends, teams. Teams, you have to invest into winning teams. The reason I bought 1% of PancakeSwap supply last bull run was because I realized that CZ was inconspicuously involved. In 2017, when I bought BNB at $2, I bought it because I went on the exchange, I went on Binance, I was like, okay, I'm going to bet on this guy. Who did I bet on? I bet on CZ. I didn't bet on BNB. I didn't bet on the Binance Smart Chain. I didn't bet on PancakeSwap, the token, and that being the number one DEX on the BSC chain. No, none of that. I bet on the team. And the team is what carried. If you bet on Elon, not on Tesla, that's how you're going to make money. You're betting on the winning person, on the player. So there's different teams. There's just different people worth investing in. So when Luca came to me, Luca Nets from Pudgy Penguins, and he's like, hey, Luke, there's the opportunity for us to buy out Pudgy Penguins. Do you want in? I'm like, 100%. Was it just the IP that I was looking at? No, I was looking at him. I invested in him. He's the winning horse. Trends, narratives, and teams. It's the name of the game. So that's how I think about it. I don't look at Bitcoin. I don't look at Ethereum individually. I don't look at meme coins. I take a bigger perspective view of the market because these are the things that have worked for me. So what are the narratives that I see? Institutionalization of the major projects. So I talked about last year, Ethereum ETF becoming approved. People said I was crazy. I was 3-4 years out. They don't understand the growth of exponential curves. They don't understand the law of compounding effect. So clearly the time between Bitcoin ETF approval and Ethereum ETF approval is going to be shortened because there's proof of concept. Next narrative, the global dominance of Bitcoin and Bitcoin now being used as a reserve fund across government institutions and across corporations. It's going to become a thing. It might take a little bit. People might do it, like you said, under the table, try to sneak in as much supply as they possibly can. But all we need is one gasket.
And Trump actually wants to buy back all the miners.
All we need is one gasket to blow for the entire fucking thing to rip. For China to it's just one signature. One signature.
Yeah.
And China's back in business. Do you think they're going to lose out? You think they're not going to fight? 100% they will.
That's asymmetrical upside for you.
There you go.
Pretty much unlimited upside on an event like that. But downside is,
and because they're realizing, hey, we don't have to value Bitcoin as our currency. We just have to use it as a reserve to prop up our currency.
Yeah.
So now the perspective is different. Now we're buying Bitcoin as a potential of, if this thing works, we're fucked. So might as well have it just in case.
Like a hedge.
Winning teams. A couple winning teams. 2020, if I'm not mistaken, 2021, Pavel Durov, CEO of Telegram, who still owns 100% of Telegram. He's the product manager of Telegram. He decides to launch TON. At that time, it's called the Telegram Open Network. But they had a lawsuit with the SEC because they raised billions of dollars. They weren't allowed to, blah, blah, blah. So they issue a refund. Then they do a public event where you can mine the tokens. You're good to go. Fair launch. Last year, I'm like, what is this TON thing? I start exploring it. What is this thing that I see on this platform? I download it. I download a wallet on my Telegram. I start utilizing it. I'm like, oh shit, like this is the future. Why? Well, because the guy that owns the platform of communication, the distribution, the 950 million users, he's the same guy that is now allowed a payment infrastructure and a blockchain to be built on top of what he already owns. So if this guy is, for the last decade, has been the product manager of his own company, there's only 30 people working on Telegram. It's an ultra profitable company. They're censorship-free resistant, which is what you need in order to transact. You need freedom of communication and freedom of transaction in order to be truly free. Track record of winning. Yes. Okay, let me bet on them.
Yeah.
Very simple. So at a $3 billion market cap, I start shilling the fuck out of TON.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's obvious.
What's it sitting at now? Like
$25 billion market cap.
Yeah. What do you see the upside on TON? You think it can
It's a $25 coin.
Yeah.
I think it hits $100 billion market cap. Dude, it's the only bear market proof crypto in the world.
The way I view TON is it's like, as you said, it's one of the only chains where it's probably got like real, like actually the ability to convert real users. If you look at all these other chains, it has real users already. So all they need to do is convert
market proof
them.
users.
Yeah.
Because now they rolled out a crazy feature on TON. So Telegram, the fusion of both, I can now send money via USDT to your Telegram username.
So cool. I tried it out the other day.
Fucking
I can
sick.
literally just ping you.
It's sick. It's sick.
$1 million if I wanted, like right now. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Instantly.
And now with USDT and USDC, the companies, obviously Tether and Circle, they're rolling out different pairs. So now they're rolling out the euro. And what TON's doing is now not only remittances for free, so I can send you $1 million for free to your Telegram username, they're doing Forex swaps for free. So now I can swap from USDT to euro and off ramp for nothing off of a fucking communication application, dude.
It's crazy.
It's the path of least
It's
resistance.
like WeChat in China.
It's a super app.
Yeah.
It's a decentralized super app. It's the ambition of a decentralized super app. Once again, winning teams. So you look at winning teams, you look at the trends, the narratives. People are on mobile. People utilize their phone. People don't want to download 90 applications. Most people are not hopping on their... Dude, it's so annoying to hop on your laptop, open up your Chrome extension, connect your wallet. We do it because we have to for security purposes. 99% of people, they don't want to do that shit. They want easy access, safe blockchain, protection, communication, transaction. That's it.
You know what's funny though? Even the janky MetaMask ledger setup, I find is still easier than like issuing a bank payment. Like
it's a lot easier.
Bro, you get the conversion fees from currency to currency.
Everything.
It takes 4 days. You put in like something slightly wrong. It bounces back. I mean, obviously, same thing could happen with a address, but you're probably copying and pasting to minimize the risk. But even
small things like, I walked into the Rolex shop the other day. I saw a nice piece. I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy it. Okay, sounds good. Let me put in a deposit. And I'm like, I'll come pick it back tomorrow. Okay, sounds good. On my way the next day to pick up the watch, I have to call the bank. Not because I don't have enough money, but because I have to get permission for them to enable a $50,000 spend. That's fucked. What happens if they say no? Oh, they'll never say no. Well, that's your misunderstanding of financial institutions. That's your misunderstanding of how banks work. Because when you put your money into the bank, you're betting on the bank. You're betting on the bank not defaulting. You're betting on the bank giving you the money back. You're betting on the bank being solvent. All the things that we know banks don't do. Because the banks are not in the business of deposits. When you deposit money into the bank, your money isn't safe. It's an illusion. You're lending your money to the bank. That's why you get an APR. As soon as you get that 0.1% return.
A pretty low one.
As soon as you get that 0.1% return, or if you get a money market account, maybe 5% return, the money that you've deposited becomes a liability. So what you see displayed on your application bank account is merely a receipt of what the bank owes you. So when you swipe your card, it's not that you're spending your own money. It's that you're pre-authorizing the expenditure that the bank is covering, and then with what they owe you, they'll cover the balance. So if the bank is not in the business of deposits, what's the business of the bank? Well, the business is in the bank of fractional reserve banking. That's what we hear. Well, banks don't fractionalize reserves. That's not what the bank does. Okay, so if the bank is not in the business of deposits or fractionalizing reserves, what is it in the business of? It's in the business of credit creation. That's the name of the game. Most of the money that's created in the space, in the markets, is credit creation. Banks are in the business of buying and selling equities. So they make a margin, they make a fee. Their job is to be the middleman. Their job is to create credit. 90% of the things that we see around us have been propped up by credit. The issue isn't credit. Credit isn't a bad thing. It's when you create credit that has no GDP or no real growth value attached to it. So if I get a credit for $10,000 Louis Vuitton bag, and I spend that, there is no real GDP. There is no real stimulus or growth. It's just an expenditure. That credit creation is what is causing banks and the trust in banks to erode, because people are realizing, hey, we've been told that banks keep our money safe, but there's bank runs like Silicon Valley Bank, which is a huge bank.
Yeah.
So clearly we can't trust them. They're not in the business of fractionalizing reserves like we've been told. They're in the business of credit creation. So once again, if I leave my money in the bank, am I betting on their team? Am I betting on their narrative? Do I think banks are a winning narrative or a losing narrative? Losing. 100% losing narrative. Do I like their team? No, I fucking hate their team. So why would I keep my money with them? Why would I invest with them? And why would I believe in the fact that they're the future of the narrative? They're not. So I don't bet with them. I don't put my money with them.
So where do you put your money?
I can't say that on podcast. We'll talk about it after the podcast.
Yeah.
But I don't keep it in.
Well, you can give like crypto, real estate, obviously general stuff, but it's smart man though.
I don't keep it in crypto. I don't keep it in the banks.
Yeah.
I don't keep it in the banks. You can't trust the banks, because banks, once again, they're a business. They're not this financial hub of keeping your funds safe. For most of history, banks
you probably still need
small.
Some money in the bank just for liquidity, but
I mean,
savings, right?
Yeah, but once again, that's insignificant. People that have 90% of their money in cash and think that they're safe, that they have savings, they don't realize that that's not how money works.
Yeah.
It's not what money does. Money is not there to be saved nowadays. If it was 100 years ago, you could save money. If you were in Rome before they started peeling the edges of the gold coins just to devalue it so that they could make some new coins, if you were in Rome before that time, before the devaluing of the currency, you could just save.
Yeah.
After the devaluing of currency, you can't save. So we're in a situation where we can't save money. Now, we think about it in dirhams, USD, British pounds, like the top currencies. We need to think about the guy that's holding fucking Zimbabwe dollars or the lira or the fucking who knows what Turkish, I think it's Turkish lira. They're all shit coins.
Argentinian pesos.
Argentinian peso, all of it garbage, going to zero. If I was saving in any of those other currencies, if I was saving in the Japanese yen, I'd be broke. So what do we do? What do? You need to find a better vehicle to preserve your money and to preserve your purchasing power into the future.
So I think, obviously, if you've already made money, that's hard assets like Bitcoin, real estate, gold. But
Even
I believe...
No. It starts at the basics. Even if you're making $1,000 a month, remember, we're talking about the saving gap. If you have a gap of $50, okay, that $50 in 5 years is not going to give you the same purchasing power of $50. It goes down to the dollar unit. It's not just about insane amount of money, because once again, imagine being like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go into the gold mines. I'm going to collect a ton of gold, but I have no plan on where to deposit or what to do with it. It's stupid.
Yeah.
You have to start with the end in mind. The end in mind is, okay, wealth preservation, freedom, long-term longevity. You want to know what your purchasing power is going to be worth in 50 years. Okay, well, where do you hold your money? It needs to be a scarce asset that's highly valued, that's fungible. That's non-fungible. And that gives you the ability to transact and remit without a middleman. And today it just happens to be Bitcoin.